Good morning, world. Good morning, everybody. 7:07 a.m. And welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that has taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on YouTube as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, on Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Apple Podcasts, or any various places where you can find your podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price and Jamar Goodman. And after a month plus long hiatus, today is March 19th of 2022, and we are now back in full effect. We took a break, myself, Jamar, and our partner Ian, who's not with us yet. And we just took a time to just relax. And so we are now back though. NBA playoffs is approaching, NCAA tournament is in full effect, NFL free agency. A lot has happened, obviously. And we just got a lot going on with we had a lot going on with the MLB free agency as well. And so with that being said, we have yet again seen another interesting and fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw a number of jaw-dropping and surprising moves in NFL free agency, including our Chicago Bears, Jamar, cleaning house, while some other teams got better. Deshaun Watson, he has now made his choice. Yesterday, we were hearing that it was between the Saints and Falcons, but out of nowhere, he landed a $230 guaranteed $1 million deal with the Cleveland Browns. And so now he is a part of the dog pound, and Cleveland is rejuvenated. The LA Lakers continue their losing in dysfunctional ways. And it is tough to watch as a LeBron fan, and it's great to watch for us LeBron haters. On the other hand, Stephen Curry is out into the NBA playoffs. How does this affect the Golden State Warriors? And March Madness is now upon us. And so with that being said, introducing my brother from another mother, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome back. Glad to be back doing this once again. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to be back as well. I'm rejuvenated, man. It's been a while. And so, now that we're back, it's great, man. I feel like, we're back like we left some.
Absolutely. I'm hungry. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. All right. And with that being said, let's get right into it, my brother. On our first and foremost segment, let's talk about NFL free agency. And so the Bears lose Khalil Mack. He's went to the Los Angeles Chargers. Tariq Cohen, little explosive running back, he's been cut. Danny Trevathan was cut. Eddie Goldman. We let Allen Robinson walk, and he's a part of the Los Angeles Rams. And even our punter, Mr. Pat O'Connell, he's playing both sides, Jamar, and he went over to the Green Bay Packers. And so I'm just curious, man, what does the moves made by the Chicago Bears tell you about this team going forward?
You know what? It tells you that they are doing things that should have been done a long time ago. Our real window was 2018, 2019. The 2018 when Khalil Mack first got there, when we actually had the squad to get it done. And then we got double doinked out the playoffs. 2019, when we actually really had expectations. And then ever since that London game, when we lost to the Raiders that year, it just went way under. And we haven't recovered since. Right. And so, when you have, a GM back then with Pace that was, on the hot seat, instead of, actually doing what needs to be done, the long haul process, when your job is on the line, I'm assuming you're just going to try to, make a move to put a Band-Aid on something instead of actually taking the time to, do what you have to do. Right. And so Poles, he came in, picked his own guys, made it known that, hey, either you're going to fit this scheme, you're going to, buy in, or I'm going to get guys to replace you. I'm going to actually address the needs that this team, need to be addressed for years. So letting all these Asian guys go, I get it. I mean, initially with the Khalil Mack trade, it's like, like just seeing the big name just goes like, man, what are we doing? And when you actually sit there and start thinking, like, okay, I see what he's doing. More so getting rid of guys for the greater good for the future. You got to address bigger needs. So letting all these guys walk, trying to get something in return. If you can't get another return, fine, get the cap space. And the moves that they've made so far in this free agency, I'm happy with it. For one, right now the Bears have the sixth most cap space at this moment in free agency. Next year they're gonna have a lot more cap space to do some things. Right now they just finding guys that fit the scheme, that's gonna be cost friendly, and also that's gonna buy into what we're trying to do. I know that Larry Ogunjobi, that whole botched, failed physical that we supposed to sign. Like I get it. That sucks. That does suck. But I mean, we replaced him with Justin Jones yesterday, defensive tackle. We brought in Byron Pringle, who has experience, definitely playoff experience, who, shows signs of being explosive, low risk, high reward type deal. I'm not even gonna pronounce this dude's first name, but St. Brown from the from the Packers. Big body, yeah. I mean, low risk, high reward. The defensive end, Muhammad, who I guess had his best season last year, and playing backup role. I think he's gonna actually, be pretty good. Nick Morrow, linebacker from the Raiders that we got covered. He's a very fast guy, athletic, and can cover. We got him at a steal because he was hurt.
Right.
Lucas Patrick, I mean, another guy. So it's like all these guys are cost friendly, but all of them, fit the scheme and also has a connection with either the offensive coordinator Getsy or the head coach Uberfuss or the GM Poles. So
right.
It seems like the front office together has bought in. They actually are in sync, and I can't remember the last time that coaching staff, front office, and upper management is all in at the same time, and that's how you build a great culture and a great team going forward. So all in all, I mean, hey, out with the old, in with the new. Either you get with it or you get left behind. So,
right, I heard that, and so, man, I feel you, bro. Like, one thing that clearly is shown to me is that the Bears, and you didn't say this keyword, but you kind of hint around it when you kind of stated, okay, they did something that they should have done a long time ago, which in other words is clean house.
Yep.
And so the Bears are literally in the process, everybody, of cleaning house. We learned that by the great reporting of Jamar Goodman and keeping us posted on NFL free agency in general. Let alone our Chicago Bears. And so we see that they've let go a lot of core guys, Allen Robinson, Khalil Mack, Eddie Goldman. These are guys that were a part of that 2018 playoff team. These were guys that were a part of our nucleus, right? Of, what happened with that first and second season with, Matt Nagy and leading us to the playoffs 8-8 last year. These guys are a part of that core. And so, to let these guys go, it's letting us know that the future is literally within our quarterback's hands. And we know about our quarterback at this point, Justin Fields. And so the Bears are doing what they can to build around him as the centerpiece. This is something that we talked about, Jamar. We stated, this not today, but this was some last year, right? This was some directly after the draft that the Bears should build around Justin Fields going forward. And that's what the Bears appear to be doing, is building around Justin Fields and for the future. I'm really excited about a special addition. Outside of the D-line and outside of the offensive line, Jamar, I'm really excited about Byron Pringle. And the reason why I'm excited about him is because he has a level of explosiveness that kind of complements Darnell Mooney. And so although as a Bear fan and as a football fan, I would like for us to have a big target that, we can get the ball to, that can be sort of like a Brandon Marshall-ish type guy, damn near, I mean, we'll never find a Calvin Johnson, but a guy with those physical abilities, that would be one of my preferences as our first or second receiver. But we're going out there and we're going out there fast and explosive. We're going out there young, youthful, and we can hit you up with some big plays for sure, for sure. And so, yeah, we're going young. We got a young tight end in Cole Kmet. We got a pretty solid, Pro Bowlish type running back that's growing and developing in David Montgomery. We got a Byron Pringle. We got a Darnell Mooney. We got another kid that we were developing last year. I can't remember his name, Jamar, but he's explosive as well. And so we got some explosion all over the field. And I like to see that from a football perspective. As far as our defense, I don't know really who's on our defense outside of our longtime safety now. We got a few guys that's been in the secondary. We got a great linebacker in Roquan Smith. We got a great defensive end that had a great year last year. And so we got a few pieces. We'll add in a few other new pieces. And so at this point, man, we just got to let the chips fall as Bears fans. The nucleus is let go, and now it's a fresh start. And like you say, Jamar, 6 and, cap space, I guess that only helps you, right, to be able to go make a big splash out there. And hopefully the Bears can do so next year,
Correct. And it's like, of course, because this free agency has been like the best. As you stated the other day, it's like one of the best that we've seen in quite some time, with just like all the names that just haven't become available at the start and in the middle of free agency. And it's like, some fans are like, why haven't we made the big move? I mean, timing is everything. It's like, you don't want to, wrap up your cap space in one guy while we're in rebuilding mode and have nothing to show for it. We just, sit there and just waste money at that point. But yeah, cap space is everything right now. Strategic moves are everything. Like next year, I think right after the Khalil Mack trade, they said we had like 100 and some like mil in cap space free. And the moves that we made so far doesn't really like hinder that whatsoever. It's either 1 year deals or 2 year deals. That's not much guaranteed. So we're sitting really pretty right now in regards to that for our future.
Right. Yeah. So judging off of past moves with the Chicago Bears and their front office, one thing I can say about Ryan Poles is that he is very strategic. And he obviously knows how to play spades, Jamar. He obviously knows how to play cards, in other words. He's making sense with his moves, and everything you see with him is definitely calculated. And so I'm loving that he is not just the guy that easily pulls the trigger. And like you mentioned, go make moves out there when we're in rebuilding mode and go out there and just waste a whole bunch of money and, end up, 6-11 still,
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily benefit us that well. So thank you for breaking that down, man, because it has been moments during the free agency where I look at moves that's made by the Bears and I'm like, why are you guys always helping other teams win Super Bowls? And so that is something that still, I feel like, I don't know if that can never be explained. I know that moves are being made because you want to get rid of others and create cap space. I just, Jamar, I do not want to see a Rams and Chargers Super Bowl next year. And I'm putting that out there right now in the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast because the Rams and Chargers, especially the Chargers, were very aggressive this offseason. Obviously, they were pissed about what happened against Las Vegas last year. And so they have loaded up. They've got a star-studded defense to complement Nick Bosa. And they've even made some moves on the offensive side as well by locking up some of their receivers. And so I would just hate to see the Chargers Rams Super Bowl. Allen Robinson, he's over now with the LA Rams. The Rams didn't need him at all, Jamar. They didn't need him, but hey, they got him. And so now the Rams are they got a big possession guy. They they already got Cooper Kupp. They possibly bring back OBJ. And so Yeah, it'll be very interesting to watch both of those teams next year. So, all right. Um, by the way, man, just a curious question. Out of this NFL free agency, give me a team that you felt has gotten better during
Man,
this period.
man, there's plenty of winners out here this year. I actually have my own personal list of my top five, but we don't have to get into that. But more
Sure,
so,
you can go through it.
you sure?
Yeah, I'm only giving one team, maybe two.
All right. So, and this is updated based on the activity that happened yesterday. All right. So number five, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. They were very active day one. Signing a couple of offensive linemen, which the most sacked quarterback in the league desperately need, including Alex Kappa, the guard from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Anytime you get somebody that's protecting Tom Brady, I'm pretty sure that's a win for you.
They got your favorite cornerback, Eli Apple.
Oh,
Locked him up, right? Locked up you and Deshaun and Anthony, all you guys' favorite cornerback, Eli Apple. He's locked up now, and he's in Cincinnati again. He must be doing something, right?
No comment. No comment. We're gonna say that for another day. We'll say that for another day.
Yeah, man. He is getting trolled all over social media, but he got signed again by the Cincinnati Bengals. So he's doing something right out there, Eli Apple.
I guess. All right, number four, I got the Buffalo Bills on my list. I mean, the other day they made a big splash signing Von Miller. I can believe Von Miller is either the first player or the first non-quarterback player to sign two $100 million contracts in league history. That man got paid 6 years, $120 million. And on the same day, they also signed OJ Howard, tight end who really hasn't had the chance to showcase what he can do. I mean, he was the fourth overall pick in the draft the year he came out. Right. I mean, just playing with Josh Allen in that offense, my gosh, like the richer get richer on that one.
Yeah, big target too.
Absolutely. Number three, the team that you mentioned, one of the teams that you mentioned, the Los Angeles Chargers. This team here, like day one, day two, been very active, getting the best corner on the market, J.C. Jackson. And of course, trading for Khalil Mack. If he's healthy and actually plays somewhat back to what he was in 2018, that's a big move for them. Locking up Mike Williams again. Got the defensive tackle from the Rams. I forgot his name, but he got two last names. He was very vital to that front four for them. I mean, Chargers definitely doing things. So they basically making moves before they got to pay Justin Herbert there. Number two, and this team wasn't even on my radar, but they jumped all the way up to number two with the news yesterday. Mr. Deshaun Watson. I think we'll get into that in a few minutes, but the reason why I got them at number two, because they got their guy. They identified Baker Mayfield was not the guy. Baker Mayfield's in his feelings. They came out and said that we want a grown person. We want a grown up as our quarterback. I'll say more details when we actually talk about Watson, but the fact that they went out and got him, like you did your thing. Number one, I got the Las Vegas Raiders. That is the team.
Shout out to the Raiders. Yeah.
That is the team for me. Look, that whole division right now is insane. The AFC West is insane based on everything that has happened this offseason. But the Raiders, for me, one, they got Chandler Jones. They haven't had a pass rusher since Khalil Mack. They got Chandler Jones. That is a huge move for me. Number two, the biggest splash the last 48 hours, Davante Adams. That right there, that move right there, I'm on record saying they won free agency, and it's not because of that move, but it's everything that's transpiring with them. They are making moves left and right. Adding Davante Adams to that offense, basically I think it's equivalent to when Stephon Diggs went to the Bills. It's equivalent to Matthew Stafford ending up with the Rams. It unlocks the offense because it's like you're gonna guard Davante Adams, Darren Waller,
right,
and Hunter Renfrow. You're gonna guard all three of those.
Don't
And
forget about that great back, that great running back there too. Who's
exactly. It unlocks Josh Jacobs.
Running back.
It opens up holes for Josh Jacobs. You cannot stack the box anymore with that.
Right.
And now you're gonna see how great, I guess I'm gonna use the word great, of a quarterback that Derek Carr can be. Seen flashes.
He's been great.
We've seen flashes of like brilliance from him, but we gonna see him at his apex now. You're gonna see him play at his peak at least for the next 2 to 3 years. So I feel like the Raiders definitely have done things, and now they are aggressively trying to get Stephon Gilmore. They switched their scheme. They switched their scheme on defense. Now they running a 4-2-5, as in they're gonna have 5 cornerbacks for the majority of the game, and so they are really aggressively trying to get Gilmore.
To the new NFL.
Exactly, and they know that. I mean, in a division where they got to guard a lot of wideouts, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Raiders for me are number one. I had the Rams at 5. The reason why I had on that low because they lost Von Miller, even though they got Allen Robinson, and their offense now is like, WTF. But nevertheless, the Raiders, made moves, the Chargers made moves, and the freaking Denver Broncos made moves. Like Kansas City, like, are you the 3rd or 4th best team in this division now? It's like,
I'm telling you, right? AFC West gonna be the best. I mean, it was always the NFC West. But I'm looking forward to just West Coast football, damn it. I'm looking forward to West Coast football. I'm looking forward to the NFC West. That is minus Seattle now. But you still got the Rams over there. I mean, you see what San Francisco has done. I don't know who will end up as that quarterback, but that is still an overall great football team, and they have not made any outside of, maybe Garoppolo. They have kept their team in place. Seattle, they might be a pancake now. And so the NFC West, you still got Kyler Murray out there. On the other hand, the AFC West, I'm looking forward to West Coast football, y'all. It ain't no days off. Denver, you got Jerry Jeudy there. You got Russell Wilson. You got a guy who's once was a great damn running back, Melvin Gordon. So you got a lot going on in Denver. You got Kansas City. We know about Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and the weapons he's got. And let's not even talk about the splash they made yesterday, right? And so they just added a great wide out that they don't even need. But they are playing poker chips, right? They see what the Rams are doing. They see what the damn Chargers are doing. They seeing how aggressive these teams are. And they like, hey, we got to get in this game too. We a contender. We need to get aggressive too. It ain't no such thing as having too good of a damn football team in today's league. The Rams bought a Super Bowl last year. So you got that going on. You got the Raiders. Oh man, Chandler Jones. I think this is a sleeper, Jamar. Chandler Jones is a Pro Bowl defensive end, everybody. This man plays football. He is extremely physical, and he'll knock your block off in any era. I said any era, not just today, any era. And he's been having Pro Bowl seasons in Arizona for quite some time. And so bringing him in alongside with Davante Adams, like you mentioned, that will unlock Josh Jacobs, who has been a great and slept-on running back for years. It's been him, and it's been Derek Carr that has been underappreciated for years in Vegas. And they have did great in Vegas consistently, winning football games and carrying that franchise. And finally, Jamar, they kind of get a reward now. They finally have gotten the reward, and that is Mr. Davante Adams. And I got a question for you, Davante Adams. Which one would make more sense? Green Bay, Wisconsin, or Las Vegas? I'm sorry for letting my screen shake. But which one would you prefer to live in? Green Bay, Wisconsin, or Las Vegas, right? I think it is a pretty obvious choice. I would go to Las Vegas every damn day, all day. No disrespect to born Green Bay, Wisconsin, but disrespect to Green Bay. Yeah, I'm a Bears fan. And so, yeah, you got that going on in Las Vegas. And so it is a fun division to watch. I didn't even get into the Los Angeles Chargers. So every game, I feel like Jamar should be on ESPN. I feel like every game should be on ESPN. or CBS or Fox. These games need to be the game of the week.
Man, I,
Fox is gonna have a hard time, bro. They're gonna have a hard time choosing between the game of the week.
they are. Man, I feel like the AFC West should be Monday Night Football for at least the first 8 weeks of next year. They got to, man. Dude, like you said, West Coast football by itself is just, it's gonna be amazing. It's just the box office left and right. They're making moves. Nobody is scared anymore. Apparently, what the Rams did in the last 12 months is starting to become a new formula here. So,
yep. And as we stated, Jamar, the NFL, and I recall definitely staying this out of my mouth, man, and I'm sure you agree with it and others. It's like the NFL in a way, man. It's gotten like the NBA, which means that they are not afraid to build a super team. And so the Rams have kind of been that team that marked to say we're going to build a super team. Cleveland tried it the year before, 2 years before. They tried to build them a little super team. The only problem with them was their quarterback. Now they got damn near got a super team again with Deshaun Watson. And so, like, you got the super team model going on here in the NFL. And I'm here to state, I love it. I love it from a fan's perspective. I love it, man. I love to see these super teams go at it. I'm sorry for like the lower teams, the Bears, the Lions, those teams will still be interesting to watch and we'll always be dialed in. But, with these super teams, it's going to create a lot of eyes on those TVs because everybody and their mom going to watch AFC West games. Everybody and their mom. So, like, it'll be something that'll be very exciting to watch for sure. So yeah, bro. Shout out to our brother Ian. I got your message, bro. We're with you. On the other hand, Mr. Deshaun Watson, man, he has now made his choice and he is in the dog pound. He is in Cleveland. And we ain't talking about the dog pound on the West Coast. We talking about the dog pound in Cleveland. And so Mr. Deshaun Watson is now in Cleveland, Jamar. And I'm just curious, where does this, number one, put the Browns in regards to their division in the AFC North? I think this is a slept-on division, Jamar. And the reason why I say that is because you got the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, who just came from the Super Bowl out of nowhere. All right. This team is fascinating. It's fascinating to watch. And many felt should have won the Super Bowl last year if they would have choked. You got a Lamar Jackson coming back in Baltimore. And we know the fireworks this man brings. And the interest in watching him. And then you still got a very winning coach and tradition in Pittsburgh with our former quarterback, man, Mitch Trubisky, possibly getting a start not in Pittsburgh. I know he'll be battling it out with Mr. Rudolph over the summer, but it's looking like right now, going into their depth chart, that Mitch Trubisky should be the number one quarterback. So I'm definitely interested, however, I don't want to take out Pittsburgh. I do. But at the same time, I can't yet. But Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore, I think this is very good football to watch going forward.
Yeah. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. So as we know, prior to the actual big news, it was coming down like Cleveland's, they had a conversation with the man and then, they got ruled out. Panthers same way. So it came down to Falcons, Saints. Apparently with these negotiations from what I was listening to. So when these teams talked to him, it was more so about they could negotiate, but it wasn't even about the coins. It was more so about what they can offer him outside of like the financial part. So when the Browns got eliminated, what happened was they was like, okay, well, we got nothing to lose here, so we're gonna tell them what we can offer them financially. Mm-hmm. And so they came over with that number, that 230 number, sent it to the agent, and that changed everything. because that was not supposed to happen the way it did. But the Browns, they shot their shot for the quarterback they wanted. They got him. And also with that deal, I think what was very crucial with that $230 million contract, which is 100% guaranteed, like you mentioned earlier, 100%. The first year,
he good in the neighborhood.
He is, man. And shout out to his agent. Sorry, just shout out to the whole process on that one. The first year of that deal, only $1 million is count against the cap. So if he gets suspended, only $1 million is affected. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. And so, like I mentioned earlier, Cleveland got their guy. They identified Baker's not the guy. Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback in this league, without a doubt. And I'm sitting here like I was going through it. Actually, he might be top 3, top 4, depending on how you do it. In my eyes, like, okay, Patrick Mahomes, fine. Aaron Rodgers, fine. Outside of that, like the only other one that I can see that would probably be on this level right now, maybe Josh Allen. Outside of that, it's like I'm not taking anybody else over Deshaun Watson. Not Joe Burrow, not definitely not right now. Not Lamar Jackson, as great as he is. Nope. Definitely not Mitchell Trubisky. So Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in the AFC North right now. Deshaun Watson got the best running game in the AFC North right now. Deshaun Watson got the best offensive line in the AFC North right now. Deshaun Watson got a pretty darn good number 1 wide receiver in Amari Cooper right now.
He still got Donovan Peoples-Jones too.
He still got Donovan Peoples-Jones. They got that quote-unquote franchise player, David Njoku, with that franchise tag. I don't know what they was thinking on that one. But defense is still actually kind of solid. They didn't trade any defensive players in that trade whatsoever. So you still got
defense is solid when you got Myles Garrett still in that defense.
Absolutely. Myles Garrett. You drafted Newsom last year as a corner. You already got Denzel Ward as another corner back there.
Yes, you do.
Linebackers are actually a little underrated overall.
Mm-hmm.
Look. I mean, Browns are right there to win the division. I'm not. This is not like one of those like 2 years ago, like you said, the super team, Browns going to the super. No, this is different. Deshaun Watson is different. Deshaun Watson is a gamer. I'm pretty sure Dabo Sweeney is on record saying he's the Michael Jordan of quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure he's on record on that. I've seen Deshaun Watson, at his be the greatest version of himself. Matter of fact, 2 years ago when the Houston Texans left the cover dry.
Right.
This man put up the best statistical season of his career.
Oh, he was balling out. They was putting up goddamn shootouts every week.
They was losing. They ended up 4-12 that year. It was to the point where JJ Watt told him, I'm sorry for wasting a year of your career. That's how great Deshaun Watson is. That division better this is serious. Like the Browns, I believe right now at this very moment probably is the best team in that division. And that's a team you cannot sleep on. I know the AFC West right now is astonishing. I know the Buffalo Bills is astonishing. You cannot ignore the Cleveland Browns. And I'm saying that with a straight face because Deshaun Watson is their quarterback today and not Baker Mayfield.
Right. Yeah. We want to put this out here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We excited about the AFC West, but you better be excited about the AFC North. It's going to be a lot going on.
That's going to be fun.
We are going to be looking very, very forward to it. Monday Night Football and Fox, the game of the week, CBS, these guys are going to have a hard time. Because if I was them, I'd be in the AFC West. I'd be in the AFC North. All right, let's see. So this will be very, very fun to watch, man. Yes. All right. Awesome stuff, man. And so NFL free agency, big splashes out there. It's a lot going on in the football world. And so we look forward to it. On the other hand, man, we got the NCAA tournament, bro. All right. I see a well-coached team next season for the Bears. JB Prescott. Yeah. Good morning, Anthony. So, yeah, man. Right now we got the NCAA tournament. And just, this this ain't nothing that's super, important, but we just want to talk about the NCAA tournament because It always provides good moments. And so before we get into that, Jamar, I want to give Jawan Howard, my bro. I want to give him a special shout out. And here's why, Jamar. Um, his team has been through a lot this season. Nobody has expected them to really even make the NCAA tournament. I was even questioning how the hell they got in as an 11th seed. That's just me. But Michigan got in and they proved themselves. They took care of business. I for sure thought they were going to lose, but they battled back and they won. And so now they are in the round of 32. That's pretty good. I wouldn't expect them to be as low as a seed as an 11 in the tournament. I wouldn't have said that last season or going into this season. I thought they would have been somewhere where Tennessee was, a number 3 seed. But never mind. Here they are. They're in the tournament. They got Tennessee today. I just want to give them a shout out, man, because they made it to a point that I didn't expect them to. And so just any surprises or thoughts, anything we should be looking forward to, anything we were taught from the first round, from any teams, just your thoughts, man.
Man, it's been a very fun day, fun 2 days of basketball here. Just going through real quick. St. Peter's beating Kentucky. I don't think a lot of people seen that coming. The 15 seed knocking off Kentucky in overtime. I was actually happened to catch the end of that game in overtime. It was like they just couldn't stop them. They just couldn't stop. That was
Game to business.
They did. North Carolina, my gosh, they are peaking at the right time. And today's game against Baylor, like if I'm Baylor, I'm a little worried. Like I'm serious. I think North Carolina has a pretty good chance of knocking them off today.
Really. It's gonna be some stuff today.
It is. And for our Big Ten conference, I'm actually a little, pleasantly surprised because there was a few games that I thought that they was gonna lose going in, and a couple teams actually, came down to the wire, but the Big Ten is actually not looking so bad right now. I know Iowa lost, but I thought Ohio State was going to lose. That didn't happen. Ohio State actually took care of business, actually shut down Loyola Chicago. Yeah.
But hey, Jamar, we got to give Mr. Valentine. I mean, look, bro, he has done a tremendous job with no names. All right. Look, bro, he gave up 20-something points, 27 points to Ohio State in the first half. That show you that they defending, Jamar. They show you that they're disciplined. Only thing that's missing in Loyola is some buckets. But other than that, I mean, they got a nucleus there. I want to give a special shout out to him because they look tough, man, and they are a serious tournament team going forward.
I agree with you. I do. It was just the fact that they just couldn't hit their shots. I was looking at that game. They just could not hit their shots. None of it was going. I mean, final score was 54-41. So, yeah, their defense came to play. It's, like you said, they just got to get buckets. Chattanooga almost knocking out Illinois. Somehow, some way, Illinois found a way to win that game. I mean, what's Michigan State? I had Davidson winning. Michigan State somehow, because let's be serious. Michigan State is not the Michigan State that, in a tournament team that can make a run. This is not that team this year.
Right.
But somehow they beat Davidson. So Big Ten looking strong. And of course our Boilermakers. My gosh. I'm excited. Like I really am. But as far as, this today and tomorrow, like I said, North Carolina, that's the game for me. And Baylor, that's the game for me. I think Baylor's in some trouble there. As much as impressive run as Michigan, as you talked about here, I think I think it comes to an end against Tennessee because Tennessee is pretty darn good. Gonzaga, they played a terrible first half. They showed up second half. Now they're going against a Penny Hardaway team today. I don't know. Yeah.
Jamar, I've been saying this since last week in my head. I'm like, they are tough. They are really, really tough. They remind you of a bunch of kids from the hood, Jamar, that come out and hoop. that come to the park and shut down the park, dunk all on you, just make you realize that you shorter than what you think you are. Like, yeah, I'm 6'5", I'm 6'9". What you gonna do about it? Like,
Yeah,
you be trying your hardest, like, oh, give a damn, I'm fine now, I'm finna still go hard. And it just don't be enough. Like, these are some broad speed bullies at Memphis, man. These some grown
dude.
men.
And it's crazy because as you know, they had top prospect Imani Bates on their team. And it didn't work out. Imani, I guess, is at home dealing with a quote unquote injury. But ever since then, like this team has been like on a tear. They've been hot. That's how they got into the tournament here. And so
Gonzaga about to watch their ass today. Like, for real.
They cannot have a slow start like they did the other day. They can't do it. And another team and another player I want to give a shout out to is I learned about the guy the other day. I think his name is Teddy Allen, guard from New Mexico State. That man had 30 plus in that game. My gosh. They go against Arkansas. Man. Arkansas might be in a little trouble there. That dude, this is, we learn about certain players in tournament time every year. I think he might be that guy. And then
another kid too, Jamar, man. His tears reminded me of this kid from Notre Dame, Ryan. This Caucasian kid from Ryan, number 5. Almost 2 30-point games. Went off the other night against Rutgers. Had 29 last night. And handled Alabama. And so I'm definitely looking forward to like you mentioned. I mean, we seeing some people jump out right now. And so
we are.
Yeah. Just curious, man. For you, are you done with your take before I get mine on the tournament?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, man. I also want to give a special shout out to Charlie Moore. I don't know if you had a chance to watch him yesterday, man, against
I did.
Yeah. He's nice, ain't he? He's nice.
He is, man. I like his game a lot. I really do.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the little guys, man. And so, he a little guy, but he got a lot of heart, man. And so he showed out yesterday, and they pulled out a impressive win yesterday against USC. And so they are, a little sleeper team, and I want to see what they do against Auburn come tomorrow night. Shout out to Purdue, man. They started out slow, but they took care of business. Arizona just quietly took care of business yesterday. Texas Tech, man, oh my God, they look stifling. They just look stifling. Notre Dame is a sleeper, man. Michigan State and Duke, that's my game. That's my game of the weekend. I want to see this game badly, Jamar, because is it possible that this could be Coach K's last game? But, if they go to the Sweet 16, it'd be nice, right, if he get this victory over Tom Izzo. So it'll be very fun to watch that, man. Illinois and Houston. I think Houston's a great team, but I think Illinois, man, they might have a chance against Houston, and that's not just because I'm an Illinois guy. Memphis and Gonzaga tonight. Memphis better be on skates. Gonzaga better be on skates, and they better be alert because Memphis is coming to play. St. Peter's and Murray State. I just want to watch it, bro, just because who in their right damn mind has St. Mary? Who in their right mind has St. Peter's and Murray State going to the Sweet 16? Welcome to the NCAA tournament. And so that'll be a fun game to watch. And then I'm looking very forward to Michigan and Tennessee. And I'm looking forward to that because Juwan Howard is a Chicago guy, Jamar. He went to CVS, Southside kid. I know people that are very close to Juwan Howard. We see what he's been through this season. And so to watch them against Tennessee is a pleasure. And it is also a little alerting or alarming because if you lose, will they try to throw some in his face? This is a tough season and blah, blah, blah. This isn't what we stand for. I don't know, man. I just know how they sometimes do blackmails. And so it's a big game, Jamar. It's a really big game for Juwan Howard. But if he wins this game, I think he's great. He's good. Definitely good going forward. I think he proved a lot by winning that first game, just about how good of a coach he is by winning that first game, because they've been through some adversity and winning that game was great. But if they win against Tennessee today, Jamar, is gonna really put a spotlight against him, and it's gonna mess up my damn bracket. Yeah, mess up my bracket real bad. So we'll see, man. And so yeah, any other take, bros? Any other thing with the tournament before we move on to the NBA?
Purdue and Texas. This is probably the best Purdue team, like overall, that I've probably witnessed in my lifetime as far as talent and well coached. Like, man, that kid Ivy, my gosh, that's an NBA player right there. NBA player for sure. They got height, they got composure, they got it all. I just hope they don't, beat themselves. That's my only thing with that. Auburn, that kid Jabari Smith, my gosh, that hammer, put the hammer down. But no, all in all, dude, I cannot wait for these games. If I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 Big Ten teams left. So we'll see.
Got that representation from the Big Ten this year that we expected last year, but we got it this year. So that is
six Big Ten teams. Six.
So that is great to see, man. Big Ten representing. On the other hand, Jamar, LBJ, Russell Westbrook, and the LA Lakers is all but a failed mission this season. And so, out of a hierarchy, my friend, I am curious on who is to blame the most. LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, the president of the Glass Fraternity, in which Jamar has really came up with his name, Mr. Anthony Davis, or Frank Vogel, or we could even go on to the GM. But who's to blame for this disaster, man, in LA?
Oh, man, it is definitely a lot of pieces of the blame pie to go around, right? Definitely. Like nobody
can take some pieces.
You're not lying. All right, so I'm gonna start with the person or the people responsible for actually putting this roster together, because it doesn't mesh well at all. So that's gonna be Pelinka. I'm gonna give 75% to Pelinka on that one and 25% to LeBron James because he signs off on everything.
Right.
So, instead of, possibly getting DeRozan or Lowry or trading for Buddy Hield, guys that actually complement the team. I mean, you sat here and said Westbrook's the guy. That's the guy I want. Knowing darn well that you and Westbrook do the exact same thing for the most part on the court. Like, I get you gamers, Westbrook is a future Hall of Famer without a doubt. Maybe he's living more so on his name these days than what his actual ability is. But nevertheless, it's like that move didn't help whatsoever. Like, you don't have too many shooters. You let your defenders walk in free agency or via trade. It's just complimentary basketball on that team is non-existent. It's really not. And then also the other 25%, like, I know you're a LeBron fan. I don't have anything against LeBron personally myself on that front, but the lack of effort that he is showing lately.
Oh, man, point him out, because Dominique don't have no problem pointing him out. He literally feasts on moments when he's not playing defense, and it gets posted on the early morning. I don't care what time of the morning it is. I don't care what time of the morning it is. It's getting posted. He want everybody to know.
But it is alarming though. It is, like, you're the best player on the team. What are you doing? Like, you like checking out. It's not a good look whatsoever.
So it's not him crying like a damn baby like he is, crying, always blaming other teammates. They don't get down on defense and they playing a 4-on-5. Come on, Bron. Come on, man. This is on behalf of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Come on, man. You're supposed to be one of the greatest athletes in the Mount Rushmore. Get your crybaby ass down on defense. It looks really bad.
It does. And so if the best player's doing it, I'm pretty sure everybody else on the team like, well, if he don't care, why should I either? That's how it
Right.
looks.
Do you see Kevin Durant or do you see Kobe or you ever see Jordan ever doing that? He'll cuss them out for he like on the sideline at least, you know?
Yeah. And at least Jordan's on record of saying in that Last Dance document, he said he never asked other guys to do something that he would never do. So yeah, that's 1 and 1A for Blaine. 2, I'm gonna go Anthony Davis on this one because the man can't stay healthy. I mean, there's a reason why I call him the president of the glass fraternity. That's glass frat. That is. If we had all those, if we can get some Greek letters together, I'll make a logo for the guy. But the fact that they brought in Anthony Davis because he was supposed to be the guy to take the torch from LeBron James and carry the Lakers into the future, into the 2020 decade and do his thing. But what's that saying? The best ability is availability. As we know, when Anthony Davis is available and actually healthy, this is a different Lakers team. It is. We saw it last year. We saw it the year before. But the fact that he's not available, it changes the whole dynamic of the team. Third piece of the blame pie is going to be Russell Westbrook, because my gosh, it's like I you know what? Let me pull that back. Third blame is Frank Vogel.
Yeah.
Because apparently, I don't know where are the adjustments at. Are you like holding these players accountable? Like what are we doing here? Like your job is on the line. We all know that Frank Vogel's not coming back next year. That's without a doubt. Yeah, I'm surprised he lasts this long. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired in the middle of the season yet.
That is true, bro. That is so true. That is so true.
It's like have you not like pointed actually saw that Russell Westbrook might be better staggering minutes with LeBron James coming starting off the bench and maybe coming in doing your thing at a different time? Have you ever because I'm going at Westbrook, have you ever thought about telling Westbrook to play better off the ball here, or Westbrook actually being more selective with his shots, things of this nature, or what are we doing to make this team play better? How are we motivating these players? You probably a great X's and O coach for the most part, but averagely galvanizing the troops and actually leading men into a battle, you are not it. When everything is good and you got all the pieces, of course you can coach a team. I mean, that's the case. I mean, a lot of people could coach a great team, right?
You're right. If you got a super team, it's not that hard.
I mean, heck, look at Steve Nash. Steve Nash walked right into a great situation. I mean, in Brooklyn, they faltered last year, but hey, I mean, they're relevant. I don't know what Steve Nash is like without Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and whoever for an extended period of time. I don't. But heck, I mean, they find a way to figure things out. I'm just saying, he takes kind of it, and then Russell Westbrook. I mean, come on, man. You. He's one of those to where I think it's you can't teach the old dog new tricks type thing. When you are so used to the customer playing a certain way,
yeah,
and you can't recognize your own flaws with certain things, you're blinded by your own success.
Sometimes, man, if that's how he got his success though, and that's how he's gotten to where he's gotten,
exactly.
Sometimes, right, he'll be a little stubborn with that, being basically this is my brand.
This
is what I'm known for. This is
you're blinded. You're not looking at what is actually reality now. You still thinking I'm still this guy that I can still do this. First off, he don't even elevate on his jump shots anymore, so that's why you see his shooting percentage go down big time. I mean, and also, I mean, when he's attacking the rim, he doesn't have the same authority. So, I mean, in my eyes, it's you're not the same player that you used to be. How come he can't recognize that? And so,
but his stubbornness has been known to hold back teams.
Yeah, and it's to the point it's great of a player as he is, and I said he's definitely a Hall of Famer without a doubt. But it's after this 10-year with the Lakers, are you actually going to be on the NBA roster going forward? Because that's actually a possibility, and it would be sad to see. But it's
I don't know about that, Jim. I won't go that.
I'm just saying, it's where does he fit in at? Because where he started, the NBA is completely different than what it is now. I'm just saying, Like, if you can't recognize and be able to switch your game up to adapt, you're gonna be out the league. That's what they tried to do with Carmelo Anthony, right? They tried that.
Yeah, but he found him a spot. He found him a spot.
He did, but he adapted.
Yeah.
He was you don't see Carmelo playing in the post, playing ISO ball anymore like that. You see him as a complimentary spot up 3-point shooter who gets his spots every now and then. That's what you see. But yeah,
it'll be interesting, man.
It will. And then last piece of blame goes to Jeannie Buss, but Jeannie Buss, I'm pretty sure she's over all this, and by the end of this year, it's going to be drastic changes all the way around. So,
yeah, very interesting, man. I'm totally with you. You can put 20% out of 100% to all 5 of them, and if 6 divided by 100, goddamn it, you could put 17 and a half to all of them. And so it is literally one of those scenarios. Sad to see. Wow, the Lakers, LeBron, failed season. It is really bad to watch. LeBron, man, I just want to say this. I hope this isn't your last championship. I've always been a big fan. I've loved your story because you've had a lot of haters and people that just ridiculed you just because you're LeBron. Maybe you'll give them a show one more time. But right now, man, you are giving people a bad show, and that's a bad look on you, and it's a bad look, Jamar, on his legacy. It is staining your legacy, and it's not the fact that you're losing with this team. What's staining his legacy, Jamar, is when he's down on defense or when he's on offense and things don't go his way. He goes to crying to the bench, crying to the referees, crying to Richard Jefferson, crying to everybody. Meanwhile, the other team's down there and they got 5 players against your 4. I don't ever see any or remember any superstars that would leave their team hanging in that moment. And so that is legacy staining stuff. And it is not a good look. And so, yeah, that's what we got going on in Lakerland. I really hope AD come back healthy, but the way it's looking, man, if AD continue at this rate, Jamar, he might have to hang up the cleats or hang up the gym shoes, man. And that'd be really sad to see from a talent perspective. You see, when he was on the court earlier this season, bro, he was putting up 30, 35 points, like getting his buckets, no problem, you know. It's just unfortunately, you know, his body is just very fragile, man. And we'll see how things go forward with him. How would they restructure his contract? What would be his landing spots? Will it be retirement, or will he, Jamar, accept a role as a role player, you know, on some good team or somewhere? He can try to get him another ring. Who knows? But the landscape definitely for the Lakers going forward will look very different. It would depend a lot on LeBron and what he wants to do. If you want to go back to Cleveland, if you want to stay in LA and work things out, he got a family there. His family's there. His son is in high school playing ball at Sierra Canyon. He wanted to do a lot of business things. LA is the perfect market for him. But right now on the court, it's not a winning situation. And so all that is literally in the air at this moment right now. You got AD in his situation. It will be clean in house with Frank Vogel. We've been hearing Stephen A. Smith, Jamar say for years that they first wanted Tyronn Lue as the coach. Didn't get him. He went into LA on the Clippers side because they gave him the money he asked for. Secondly, they wanted Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd ended up as an assistant. He was in line to replace Frank Vogel, according to various sources. But, you know, Jason Kidd went over. Now he's going with a dangerous Dallas team now. And, you know, as a result, you ran into Frank Vogel. He led you to a championship, yes. Some people even argued, Jamar, that was a lucky championship because of the bubble. Some people firmly felt that was the Clippers' year that year. And maybe some chemistry got me, I don't know. And so, regardless of the fact, he led them to the championship. And so it will be a very different Lakers team and organization going forward next year. But once again, Jamar, one thing I will leave you with is that it is Los Angeles. It's a big market, a lot of cap always, a lot of money always floating around. I would not be surprised if they pull off some this summer. It's LA.
I'm with
And
you.
so
Check the
I will.
comments.
Oh, go ahead. Let me check these comments. I'm a LeBron fan, and it's not a good look, gentlemen. He deserves all the backlash. I agree, man. He deserves his backlash right now, Deshaun. And leave LeBron alone. He knows it's a dead season. Frank Noxis, our friend from Purdue, Jamar, I remember him from various classes. He has legitimately been a LeBron supporter. And he's put pictures of him on the Mount Rushmore, on the page, etc. And so he's just saying for LeBron, it's a dead season. He'll be back. And so I agree that he'll be back. Question is with who and with what nucleus?
True. But it's also like, yeah, it's the season is washed. I don't even know if they're going to actually make the play-in tournament. But either way, you like your body language, like all that matters. Like how you carry yourself in the game, like the effort, that all matters, man. You just cannot like check out in the middle of the game. You can't do it. Like you said, you leave your teammates hanging. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's legacy standing stuff, man. It really is. And it'll definitely come up years later for sure. People are not going to forget about this. I guarantee you if there's 30 for 30, Shamar, we look up and we're older men, I guarantee you we'll see moments as such. I promise you we will. And so, we'll see, man, how LeBron reacts. We'll see how he reacts. He stated he wants to play Jamar with his son, who will likely, have to play a year of college basketball, at least a year. But even amongst that, his son, Bronny's he's great, but he's not a killer. And he's not like,
right.
He don't have that, he don't have a lot of those physical gifts like a AD. He's a short guy. He's not as tall, not as lengthy, so he can score, but will he even play a year in college? He might need more than 1 year. It's a question, and so
it's like that. I mean, if that happens, that'd be a wonderful feat, right? I'm all for that. But it's like for one, it's like you're putting a target on your son here. I mean, last time I checked, he was like 34th or 35th in his class. He's only like somewhere between like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". So he hasn't
6'2".
I know. So he probably can still grow, but it's not there yet. Right. And then it's like it puts a target on the team on him because like whenever he, let's just say for instance he does enter the draft, right? It just makes it a circus. It's like whoever drafts him is like more than likely that's where LeBron's going, right? At that point.
Right.
And so it's just going to be a disaster. I think Mark Cuban's even on record saying that he wouldn't even waste the draft pick on him right now. So he still got ways to grow, but he's not a top prospect either. So it's right now.
It's interesting, man. Do Jeannie Buss give LeBron literally what he wants and clean house and wait on Bronny to get out of college? Which he probably gonna end up going. He gonna stay in LA probably, UCLA or something. Sierra Cannon, then on to maybe the Lakers. Who knows? And so these are just thoughts.
I don't, but knowing her and how the Lakers run is like, I feel like in their eyes, no one's bigger than the Lakers, right? So it might come to a head. It might have to happen elsewhere on that one. So I mean, it just all of it's just a little premature right now.
It's definitely premature, but just want to bring it out there, man. A joke video other day said that LeBron's 2020 ring in Orlando bubble was basically the Disney AAU Invitational. So Prescott JB stated that a joke video the other day said that LeBron's 2020 ring in the Orlando bubble was basically the Disney AAU Invitational.
Wow. I mean, there are people that feel like that ring is a fluke, and like you mentioned, because it happened in the bubble. Is that a real ring? And then some other people saying like based on what they went through in that bubble, I mean that ring means more. I don't know, but I just know at the end of the day, I mean it's a ring. That's all we can say.
It's a ring, man. But I remember the Lakers didn't even want to play in the bubble. They're more the
Nope.
Clippers.
I mean, Clippers showed in their actions they didn't want to play there. You got Sweet Lee going to the strip club, getting some wings or whatnot.
So you said the second round, they showed that they didn't want to play.
Nah, man, they weren't dedicated. Their mind wasn't focused on that.
Right. We told y'all we didn't want to play.
They said we didn't want this Mickey Mouse ring. That's what Prescott JB said, Mickey Mouse ring. So
right. Yeah, man. Literally, as soon as you said that, Prescott JB stated in Mickey Mouse ring. And so yeah, man. Wow. Sad situation in LA, but as you state, man, a ring is a ring, regardless, Prescott, if it's a Mickey Mouse ring. But yeah, man. Very, very interesting stuff with the Lakers and just their franchise going forward and LeBron's future going forward. How does that coincide with his son? We will see as time progresses, man. On the other hand, let's talk some Brooklyn Nets, bro. The Brooklyn Nets are obviously a great team with Kyrie Irving on the floor. But as we know, due to the COVID-19 mandate, he is still not able to play at home this season. With this current situation, however, Jamar, can the Brooklyn Nets win a championship this season with Kyrie on the road? Can they still pull this off in this type of manner?
No. But before I start giving reasons why, per se, I'm gonna give a not shout out to the mayor of New York, because everything that KD said in that press conference. I mean, like, look, how is the man able to buy a ticket and watch the game courtside at Barclays Arena but can't play on the floor? Make it make sense. It does. It made zero sense whatsoever. Yeah. So with that being said, if it's currently like this in the playoff, no. I mean, granted, Kyrie has played sensational in the last about 3 to 4 weeks now when he actually plays, 60 piece, just looking fresh as he should, because he had played games, here and there. But no, they can't win like this. You can't, because let's just say, for instance, like right now they're in what, the 7th spot, if I'm not mistaken. No, the 8th spot. 7, 8, somewhere.
8th, one of the two. They flip flop.
I know Toronto's right there. Let's just say, for instance, they had to play Toronto on the road. Kyrie can't go over there.
Right.
Matter of fact, let them somehow have a 7-game series against Toronto. He's screwed. There's no Kyrie Irving at all. So, like, it's I feel like it's two-sided. So one, apparently the Nets to a certain extent support Kyrie, what he's doing, I guess, more so Kevin Durant is, and everybody else following suit. At the same time, it's like, the other people on the team went ahead and did what they had to do to actually play home and away type deal. But to go through the Eastern Conference the way it's right now, the Eastern Conference is the best conference. Yeah, they're stacked, and I cannot sit here and tell you that the Brooklyn Nets will beat the Philadelphia 76ers in a 7-game series, turn around, have to play the Miami Heat if they have to, or the Milwaukee Bucks in a 7-game series, and survive the East. I don't see it. And normally the teams that's in the playing game, they're not winning a championship. It just, right. I haven't seen
it just don't measure out. Yeah,
it don't, and especially if your second best players can't play half the games. Like, no, that's more work on Kevin Durant, and then Ben Simmons. I don't know. So no, presently constructed the situation. There's no way.
Yeah, man. Number one, Ben Simmons will have to be on the court. But even amongst, sorry, that ain't number one. That's number two. Number one is Kyrie Irving. So with this situation, man, we see what he can do, y'all. We see what he can do. We see what he did in Orlando. I think me and you and Prescott, JB, Frank, whoever's watching with us, we know that Kyrie Irving, man, for me, he is for me, he's the most talented basketball player I've ever seen. When I say talent-wise, Jamar, the man is a showstopper. He literally makes things look effortless on the court. We got a lot of great guards, man. We got a lot of guys that has done a lot of great things for basketball. And Kyrie Irving has not been, let's say, the most greatest ambassador, but on the court, he put up the numbers. On the court, he is that dude. On the court, he is an extreme talent, and that is no doubt about it. That 41 was effort, man. That was effortlessly. I thought he was going to go for 80, Jamar. I'm like, he got 41 in the first half. He could easily go for 80. He could have went for 80 against Orlando, but I think he just kind of pumped the brakes. But he got his 60. We know what he can do, man. Make it make sense with the mask mandate. Make it make sense. I just from a fan's perspective, I would love to see him healthy. Just for the playoffs, man. Just so they can all play against each other. Them, Milwaukee, Miami, a healthy Bulls team, all battling it out, man. A Boston team right now who is literally as a serious sleeper, somebody, Jamar, that can win the East. Can win the East. I don't know if folks been watching, but get in tune with the Celtics. Get in tune. They are ferocious defensively. And the only team right now that might be better than them in the East could be a talented Brooklyn team with them being healthy. They are better than Miami. They are better than the Bulls. They are better than the Sixers. They are better than everybody right now, this Boston Celtics team. And they have overtaken the Bulls now, Jamar, in the standings. So our Bulls are dropping right now. They're dropping. And so the Nets presently constructed, I agree, man. They cannot win. It's just too competitive in the East. But that will not mean that they will not put up a hell of a fight. Because they just got Kevin Durant and they still got some guys on that team that can ball. You still got Gordon Dragic. You still got LaMarcus Aldridge. You still got KD, of course. Yeah, you don't have Ben Simmons. You got Kyrie part-time. But the roster is there. The talent is there. I don't give a damn if they're 8 seed, Jamar. I would want to play Brooklyn, period. Period. Right. That's even with Kyrie part-time. I would want to stay away from Brooklyn, period. And I'm telling you, Jamar, if we see a Miami-Brooklyn series, Miami, you'll have home court, which means that Kyrie will play on the road. And so I'll be very, very, very nervous if I'm any of these squads. I know that they can win the championship probably, but then again, I am not so sure. I am not so sure because they are that talented. And so my answer to this, Jamar, is I don't know. I think it damn near can be done. You see what just happened with Steph Curry. Is he either going to be himself in the playoffs? And so with all these different dynamics, Chris Paul that's banged up in Phoenix. Hey, I'm not finna bet against this Nets team. They are too talented, too many buckets. They putting up 150 on people like clockwork. On the road, they putting up 150 on people. They score so much, Jamar. They just sitting in the fourth quarter and just chilling. Like, this is the fourth quarter. They blew out the Bulls so bad that they were just chilling. Like, we don't even want to score 170. We can, though, if we wanted to. And so, do you really feel confident in betting against a team that can put up buckets like that? That guy's putting up 60 one day, the other guy putting up 53 the next. It's a lot of points, just a whole lot of points. You would literally have to outscore them. And so I'm not getting off this Nets bandwagon. But if Kyrie was to play at home, then the Brooklyn Nets winning the championship. I don't care who they playing, period. Lastly, bro, as we head into the weekend, just quickly, man, with the injury of Steph Curry this past week against Marcus Smart and the blue-collar Boston Celtics, do you feel upon Steph Curry's return from his injury that the Golden State Warriors are favored to win it all?
I right now I can't see it. I don't even know if they're gonna make it to the Western Conference Finals right now, because I really feel like that guy in Memphis and that squad.
I feel like the guy in Denver.
That's another one right there. I just don't, as of right now, I don't see it. Not saying that it can happen. I mean that it can happen, but it's like it's tough. They just made the road tougher right now. I think Phoenix is legit. Especially when Chris Paul gets back, I think they're legit. I think Memphis is definitely legit. If you don't know by now, then I don't know what to tell you. Under a rock. Memphis is legit. Denver, like you mentioned, they're getting guys back here pretty soon. They're going to be at full strength here in the next couple of weeks. Even Michael Porter Jr. is scheduled to come back here pretty soon. That team is good. I ain't got to mention anybody else. It's just those three teams right there is going to make the path that much more difficult. And I don't see it with even like you said, if Steph Curry comes back. He's not 100%. Clay, I'm waiting on Clay to actually, get back to 100%. They might not have it the next year.
Right. And one thing I want to briefly mention, bro, is if they the second seed, that's if Memphis don't overtake them, which probably will happen with Steph Curry being
They did. They did overtake.
Okay. Yeah, and so this is a blessing in disguise because that way they avoid the Clippers, Jamar, with Reggie Jackson and a Paul George that'll be back for the playoffs. That way they avoid them. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise. Because if so, they play the Clippers. I'm picking the Clippers in that series. I
got you. Because at this point, they third, and I'm pretty sure they would have to see Dallas right now.
They want to see Dallas.
It's like the West is always solid. East is better this year, but the West is still like you gotta be on your P's and Q's, man.
Absolutely, it's been that way since the beginning of time with the West. And so, man, do you really want to see Dallas? And if you're the damn fourth seed, do you want to see the Joker in Denver? So. Yeah, man. I know the Warriors are great and they step it up in the second half, but that's with Steph Curry, Jamar. He's not on the court, man. And so, it's very, very, very interesting. It's a reason why Steve Kerr is pissed off. He knew. He knew Steph Curry's off the court. His chances drop tremendously for wins, for playoff success, etc. And Steph Curry at times, he can be a fragile guy too, man. And so, but he'll be back. He'll be back. And so, do the Warriors, man. I mean, with them dropping in the standings, who do they really want to see in the playoffs? We some people think that they title favorites. I question if they even make the first out or even the second round. Yeah. Do they make it out the first round?
Right. Right now it looks murky, but we still got some time left, but we'll see. We will see.
We'll see, absolutely. So, yeah. All right, world. Thank y'all, man, for chopping it up with us this morning. We appreciate the love and support. Good amount of folks this morning, man, that was just watching, and we appreciate you guys' support. Please, hey, don't forget to hit that like button. And please subscribe to our YouTube page. At the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook at the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast community page. We love to continue this conversation. This is just a conversation that's online. Me and Jamar will get right back to continuing our conversations and our activities online. And so please feel free to join our community page. This is not just something we do on Saturday mornings, but this is a lifestyle. And so we appreciate you guys chopping it up with us. We appreciate your support. If you always want to chop it up with us, we are here. We would love to chop it up with you live or on the Facebook page. Your love and support is truly appreciated. And we hope you all have a blessed, safe, and relaxed weekend. Peace.
So.